So the first thing I have for you is a series of church website wireframes and real examples linked in the description that you can download. So everything that we're about to go through, you'll have for handy reference. And let's start here. Your church's website has three responsibilities: inspiration, information, and invitation, the three I's of church web design. Let's start with inspiration and the phrase that I want you to commit to memory, which is show, don't tell. Let's look at an example. This is SMC North, an Irish church that we completed a free website makeover for. And what you're seeing are sections of their homepage. What's the commonality? Photo containers. Why? Because we can communicate in an instant with a photo what would take paragraphs worth of text. Show, don't tell. And this is not just my belief either. We've got mountains of evidence to support this. First, in conjunction with the University of Basel in Switzerland, Google published a research paper about the role of visual complexity on websites and how it influences a person's first impression. And here are a number of the core findings from the research. Number one, first impressions on a website occur within 50 milliseconds or less. That's 0.05 seconds. Second, websites with low visual complexity were perceived as highly appealing. And third, users love simple and familiar designs. So what are our takeaways here? There's nothing to be gained by reinventing the wheel with our church website from a creative standpoint. In fact, the opposite is probably true. Clean and simple web design is and always will be superior. Moreover, first impressions are being made in an instant. And how are those first impressions being made? Well, people certainly are not reading our church's About Us paragraph in 0.05 seconds. Obviously, it is the visuals driving those first impressions. Remember, show, don't tell. It turns out that the type of visuals also matters. In fact, multiple research papers have been published on the value of human photos within website design. Researchers from the University of Bradford found that initial trust was boosted on websites that have photos of human faces. University College London found that even adding happy photos of people to websites with low trust increased perceived trustworthiness. Canadian researchers at Simon Fraser and McMaster found that websites with photos of human faces were more positively received by users than websites with photos lacking human faces or websites lacking photos of humans whatsoever. What does this all mean for us as we build our church websites? The absolute best photos that you can take and add to your church website design are photos of your church's people and the vibrant community that is unique to your congregation. Photos of smiling faces especially make great first impressions, earn trust, and are the perfect representation of the existential matters that every church is involved in. Because this is not just about effectiveness. Effectiveness is only worth it when it intersects with faithfulness and the values of your church. And what do we know about our faith communities? The church is the people. So, now that we know what we're aspiring to, how do we actually do it? Well, let's work through some extremely practical church website homepage formulas. And at the top, we're always going to be starting with our hero section, which is the most important real estate on your entire site. Why? Because it's that part of the site that will be seen by more people than any other, by far. So let's talk about a few different layouts that I really like for your hero section. Here's the first variation that we're building. We've got a full screen background image, 2 call to action buttons, and a few different bits of text. We've got our main headline, our top label, and our body text, logo in the top left, menu in the top right. And for this hero section config, the preferred menu option is one that is collapsed inside of a clickable button because we've got a lot going on here and we don't want it getting too crowded, right? And then we've got the launcher in the bottom right. This is a free website plugin that we've built for churches, can be installed on any website platform. And what it does is place every important next step in your church on every single page of your site. All you have to do is click it, the launcher opens, and you can grab the launcher at nucleus.church/free. More than 17,000 churches have installed the launcher on their site to drive more next steps and more church-wide participation in ministry. And we'll link some install guides in the description for you for different website platforms. So that's what the wireframe looks like. Here's that in a finished church example. This is another free website makeover we did with the church, this time in Wisconsin. We'd love to give your church website a free makeover, by the way. We've completed more than 1,000 of them. And if you head to nucleus.church and click on the free makeovers button, you can get started right away. Only extra note that I want to make with this specific layout is to pay attention to all the text that you have centered across the canvas, because what you don't want is any of that text overlapping with the eye line of someone in your image. We avoid that concern with this specific photo because it's of raised hands, so no eye lines are present. If you do have this concern, you may want to consider the next layout I'm going to show you, where we take our main headline and bottom justify it centered on the canvas. Again, 2 call to action buttons below, launcher in the same spot, logo in the same spot. But this time, we're bringing in a traditional on-page menu because we have fewer overall elements. This provides some nice balance. And here you can see a final example, another makeover we completed for a church. You can see the photo that we used and how the woman leading worship is centered in the middle of the frame. In our previous layout, the text would have conflicted with her, right? Not what we want. This layout works perfectly, though, for this type of photo. Next hero section, keeping the text at the bottom of the canvas. But this time, instead of centered, we're going to justify it to the left. 2 call to action buttons side by side below it, launcher, logo, traditional on-page menu, full-width hero image. Here's an example that you'll recognize that used this layout, SMC North, the Irish church that we highlighted at the top of this video. One more hero section layout I want to show you because you might be wondering, okay, what if I don't have one of these, glorious full-width photos to use of my church and my people? Hey, I got you. The solution here is to use a collage hero image. So you're seeing it on the wireframe now. We've got 5 photo containers, and combined together, they show off a mosaic of church life. Launcher in the same spot, but we're going to return to the collapsed menu here so our items are not overlapping with the photos. Logo in the top left, and then we've got our headline, top label, body text, and just 1 call to action button this time to keep things neat and tidy. Here's a final example, another makeover church. This is First Baptist New Orleans. Again, each of these wireframe layouts and final examples are linked in the description below in a handy cheat sheet. Let's move now to the rest of the homepage. Now that you've got a variety of hero section options at your disposal, how should the homepage proceed from there? Well, you're seeing the wireframe now. After our hero section comes an About Us section that links to your About Us page. This is a brief intro paragraph about your church, and I like to go full text here against a simple, plain background. This contrasts nicely against the busier photo-heavy hero section directly above it. Next comes a Plan Your Visit section with a half-width photo container paired with an equal-sized section for a heading, text, and call to action button. This CTA links directly to your Plan a Visit sequence. The next section is a split section, half for staff and half for calendar. Each column in this section, again, has a photo, headline, text, and button. The staff button goes to the staff and leaders page. The calendar button goes to, you guessed it, the calendar page. Finally, the last section on our homepage template is one dedicated to next steps. And this is a carbon copy of the Plan a Visit section in terms of structure, just mirrored with the half-width photo on the right instead of the left. And here's what this page looks like, fully fleshed out with actual text, actual photos, hero section at the top, paying close attention to make sure that our pastor's eye line does not overlap with any of the text, full width section with an intro paragraph of the church, Plan a Visit section, staff and leaders, plus calendar section, and closing it out with the next step section. Of course, the footer still follows as the final bit on this page below that next step section. Look, websites can be a massive project that drag on forever, so let us take care of it for you for free. We offer churches all around the world free website makeovers. You saw a bunch of examples in this video. We've delivered more than 1,000 of these so far. What's the catch, though? Well, getting a new website, it's kind of like getting a new car. With a car, you have 2 costs. You got to buy the car, and then you've got to pay for the gas to make it go. Similarly, with a new website, you need to buy and build the site, and then you need to pay for monthly hosting to make it go. Sign up for a free makeover, and we will build the entire website for your church, no cost, for free. And then once it's delivered, you're only responsible for the monthly hosting to make it go. You can get started right away at nucleus.church. Just click the free makeovers button. Thanks as always for your time, attention, and trust. And if you need help at all with the photography on your website, make sure to check out the Church Smartphone Photography Masterclass. That's the next YouTube video that you should watch, where I visit churches in person with just my iPhone to capture beautiful photos showing how you can do the exact same thing, even if you don't have any experience with that type of thing. That video is linked on the screen. Check it out.